taking a study of minerals and metals, transforming that knowledge into the most sought-after pieces of jewelry, Kirsten Goss has made her international business a jewel in the crown of modern South African design.
The Kirsten Goss Jewellery journey started in London back in 2002, 21 years ago. Very, very grown up this year. And subsequent to that, we've opened several stores in South Africa. Our stores are all extremely modern, little glass capsules in the centers. You can't miss us. I mean, it's bright yellow and beautiful curved glass, very Wes Anderson aesthetic. And we aim to thrill. I've always had that instinct to want to challenge boundaries with my jewelry. So in that sense, it's remained the same. But obviously, one goes through phases. One goes through minimalist phases, maximalist phases. I think ultimately, it depends, like anything else, what you feel like wearing on the day. But I do love the idea, and what we're pushing more and more is to be more adventurous with fine jewelry. So pushing boundaries with your conventional stones that people would assume to be fairly simplistic, and actually making more dramatic, impactful, unusual, experimental pieces in solid gold with precious or semi-precious gemstones. This is a great example of a new collection, something that's completely unconventional, asymmetrical styles, one-off earrings, and quite maximalist, really. Lots of depth, loads of different gemstones, all completely individually considered and set. And then something as simple and classic as our lock earrings, which we've been doing for 20 odd years. And you can see something that you could take through every season for year after year after year. So very minimalist, more maximalist. This is our lifesaver necklace, and we've been doing this for many years. And this is something that allows you to change up your look. So you can remove all of the little pendants and change your vibe depending on how you're feeling. So this chain, although it is very demure, it has the complexity of having this detail which we've put in the chain, punctuated it with a little punky spike, and then this beautiful chrysoprase stone that's been set into the gold pendant. So you can see statement earring, but simple lines, and then a little bit of complexity over here on the decolletage.
Focusing on limited edition one-off pieces appeals to Kirsten's imagination.
Rings are a big feature in our collection, but we're always trying to push the boundaries, push the envelope with regards to setting styles, the designs themselves, so they almost look fairly light-hearted or novel, and yet they are still fine and precious. One of my most favorite rings, which is currently on exhibition in our Cape Town store, is the acacia ring that we designed for an auction at Christie's in London several years back, and it was to raise money for Save the Rhino Foundation. So we decided to work with the motif of the acacia tree that the rhino loves to stand underneath. And so we have 3 layers of the acacia tree with the white diamonds, champagne diamonds, and black diamonds. And then underneath one of the layers of these branches, we have a little hand-sculpted white rhino in 18 karat gold. And underneath, we have the black diamond for the black rhino.
With her own in-house team of goldsmiths to manufacture every piece, Kirsten designs and conceptualizes every one of the collections.
I had 2 very interesting grandmothers. One liked to decorate everything, and one was very Scandinavian, very minimalist, hence my kind of dichotomous design style. And I was fascinated that there was a degree that I could do in jewelry design. And Stellenbosch University offered this course in the Fine Arts department. It also had the gemology aspect, which I loved, the chemistry angle, and so for me, being kind of geeky and creative at the same time was quite appealing combination. I attribute a lot of what I have been able to maintain in terms of ideas to that course. It was 4 years of really, really quite intense experimentation. And truly, it makes one have to consider every aspect so much that I feel like I have a plethora of ideas that not even in this lifetime will I be able to manifest because of how many possibilities there are. I like to have all my color and scraps all around me so that I can see some of the stones and I can actually scribble a shape or a form down, color something in. Then we would place some of the stones onto some of the forms that I have come up with, and we will then create vectors out of them, digitize them, and then I can manipulate them on my screen so that I can get more possibilities out of each form that I have designed and see which would work best as a composite or on its own. So it starts off very practical, very basic, and develops into something that's a little bit more user-friendly for the goldsmiths to work with.
Whilst growing her business, Miss Goss also raised a happy family of daughter Farron and sons Oscar and Cosmo.
Kids definitely keep one grounded, keeps it real, keeps it entertaining, keeps us on our feet. It's a wonderful adventure to have with your children, especially that mine have grown up around the design process. They've been in and amongst the wonderful shoots and the shows, and my daughter grew up being at London Fashion Week with me at 2 months old, sleeping under the table alongside me. So they've been my guiding lights, my muses, and definitely the reality of life is evident with kids, isn't it?
I love my mom's jewelry so much. I've got a few special pieces from my mum that I wear, these 3 rings that I have, and necklaces and earrings that were all gifts from her, all very sentimental and personal. So I take a lot of pride in wearing them. Growing up around my mum has impacted me in really, really profound ways. It's a very different kind of household setting where we've got a lot of chaos, but really interesting chaos. It kind of teaches you to be adaptable and think quick on your feet. She's a great influence in teaching us to be assertive and confident, being a businesswoman, as well as being very gentle and kind as a mother. So it's a really interesting balance, and she's a really, really wonderful influence on all of us as our almighty matriarch.
To young talents out there who would achieve what she has, this Wonder Woman has some advice.
Don't chase the smoke and mirrors. Do something with your life that feels worthwhile and that gives you a lot of joy and a lot of excitement to get out of bed every day. I think that would be the greatest thing for my kids, and obviously for our business to continue in that vein of originality. Don't be a copy, stick to that original plan, which comes from within, really.
Kirsten Goss has channeled the design flair of her grandmothers into a fun, sophisticated and luxury legacy to pass on to her children and inspire a generation of creative women.